Alright, what's up guys? Welcome back to Duty's Daggers. We have a concept to check out here. This was sent to me by Kansept for free. Big thanks to them. This is one that I actually asked them for. Usually they hit me up and see if I want to check something out, but this one I was curious about, so I actually hit them up and asked, and thankfully they were cool enough to send it to me. So let's check it out. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Look down there and just double check for me, would you? Yeah. Let's see what we got. You know, these days it takes a little something extra for me to be interested in a knife. You know, I think I'm not alone in saying this. We're kind of getting tired of titanium frame locks over and over again with no spice, no flair. Something we haven't seen before. I'm getting tired of that. And this happens to have something that I had never seen before. So here we go. The Kansept Loki. Now, I have never seen a deployment hole like that. Kind of a frowny face. Or a smiley face, depending on how you look at it. It's smaller than I thought it would be. Actually, probably a really good size. We got a two-tone titanium. Interesting. It looks cool. Is it? It must be just coated here and then not here. I don't know how they did that. The clip is also titanium, but a different finish, almost like a kind of a worn sort of finish looking thing. Clip looks good. It's Damascus, as we could see here. Let's give it a flick. Is it going to flick good? All right. Yeah, the overall design is the other thing that kind of made me want to check this out. This is cool, man. This is a pretty cool design, I gotta say. I love the choke up spot that's just right up there. And it doesn't take away too much of the cutting edge. You know, it's like mostly in the handle. Almost like how the Rosie is. Where you have a real nice choke up spot, but it's mostly in the handle, not in the blade. So you're not wasting edge, you know? So, similar choke up areas on both these knives. I like that a lot. Lock by access is actually really good. Wow, it's smooth too. Ergos feel good. I don't feel the clip at all. Very smooth. Yeah, so the last concept I checked out was, or the last one, yeah, the last one they sent me was the AGI. Was it the AGI? Some abbreviation. I think it was the AGI. That one was in Damascus as well, and the edge didn't really hold up quite how I would have expected or liked it to. And the lock bar access wasn't great. This one, however, lock bar access is very good. You can see it right there. They give you a nice cutout. But it's probably the same Damascus, and I am going to be doing a cut test with this knife, so we'll see. We'll see how it does. You know, that could have been a kind of a fluke with the other one. Maybe it was a burnt edge. Who knows? But the factory edge it's decent. Decently sharp. Yeah, I like this design. This is kind of like a sheep's foot with belly. I really like that. I think that's one of the best blade shapes. Because you can kind of rock back on the belly and actually... yeah, the edge is kind of like set down from the handle a little bit on this knife, so you can actually get a lot of that belly without hitting your knuckles on the surface. So this is probably going to be a nice cutter. I don't know about the edge retention, but as far as like the design of the blade and handle, I think this is going to cut really good, really nicely. It's going to feel nice too. Feels great in the pinch grip. There's like a little spot right here for either your thumb right in this position or your pointer finger in the pinch grip. It feels nice, kind of braced up against this little whoop-de-doo. There's actually two little whoop-de-doos, kind of right there and up here. I don't know who the designer is. There's the maker's mark. Does it say here? Let's see. Designer, Stephen Dunnick. Not familiar with him. Yeah, I think this is a pretty sweet looking knife. It reminds me a little bit of the Wii Hyphen too. It's definitely different, but the vibe is kind of the same. Where It's a smaller knife with the sheep's footy kind of low-tipped, aggressive, pointed, belly-ish blade. Choke up spot, similar size. You know, definitely very smooth. So the reverse flicking with this smiley thing seems to be totally fine. I don't. It's not like it's hard to get a grasp on it with your finger. It's quite easy. Your finger seems to kind of land right in the middle of it. You know, you can aim. You can kind of start at the bottom down here, and still get it for sure. But your finger kind of naturally, at least my hand, wants to go right in the middle of that. Let's see. Can we thumb flick it? Yeah. Slow roll is easier. But yeah, we can thumb flick it. Reverse flick's where it's at, though, for sure. Grip it as hard as I can. Yeah, this is ergonomically going to be pretty good, too. This clip has, it's nicely rounded over. No sharp edges anywhere. And yet they leave you a lot of space between the surface and the point there for your seam to get underneath. So that should be perfectly good. And the relief cut's on the inside. Cool. Very nice. Yeah, they seem to have done a lot of things right with this. The sharpening choil plunge grind area is nice. It doesn't start to get thick till about right here. So all this here is free real estate. It's always kind of weird when you don't see the Damascus, you don't see the Damascus on the spine, like on the edges or anything. It always kind of weirded me out. Like, it almost makes you think it's fake Damascus, because like, here, let me grab this. Like with this this Chad Nichols Damascus, you could see the lines of the Damascus on the spine, because there's layers all throughout the blade, not just on the surface. Let me get the other one, because you can see it better on this one. There we go. That pattern's running through the whole blade, not just the surface, so you're going to see it on the edges. Here you don't. I don't know if maybe they just didn't etch the edges for whatever reason. I can't think of a good reason why they wouldn't, though. If you don't know, you make the way you make Damascus is mushing together two different types of steels. One of the steels does not darken when it's put in acid, and one of them does. So you mush together the steel in the pattern you want, and then you dip it in some ferric chloride type etching acid, and when you pull it out, the pattern is revealed. The steel that does not etch stays, regular looking, and the steel that darkens gets darker. So that's how you get the contrast between the two. So I'm imagining, they have a brick of Damascus. They mill or grind out the blade. They dip it in the acid, and the spine would etch, along with the rest of it. So I don't know. It's I don't understand really. I'm not saying they're lying and it's not real Damascus. I don't believe that. But I'm interested to know why that you don't see it on the spine. Maybe they etch it and then they do some sanding or grinding on the spine, and that takes away the etch, possibly. Also, you don't see it really on any edge in the choil down here, or if you look down in there, you don't see it either. So, not a big deal. I'm just curious about it. But, if we're comparing Damascus, this one's going to perform much, much better than this one. It's just how it is, This is made with much better steel than this one. But that doesn't mean this can't be good either. We're going to do a cut test and we're going to find out. So, yeah. I like the design. I think if I was buying it, I would just get the regular steel one. But it certainly looks very nice. And it could cut nice too. We will find out. Perfectly centered. Yep, perfectly centered. Rock solid. No movement anywhere. Very solid. Some people might not like this right here. It doesn't bother me. You know, I really don't care how a knife looks when it's closed very much. I care what it looks like when it's open, definitely, but not really when it's closed. Nice backspacer. Yeah, this is probably my favorite Kansept I've tried in a while. Definitely, as far as the design goes, I like it. Kind of one of those small, big knives, you know? A knife that feels big because of the really nice choke up spot. I mean, I got extra handle here, folks. Look at that. So you can have bigger hands than I do, and you'll still, choked up, have a really nice grip on this. I don't think anyone would hold it like this. It's not designed to not choke up. You would never do that. You're holding it like this, you know. So let's do a few quick size comparisons so you guys can see how big it is. Here's a Malibu. Here is a CGRB Pyrite Warney. How about a mini Beluga? Let's do a Cubit. And a Native 5. This is an example of a knife that has a great choke-up spot, but it's more in the blade than the handle. So there's this wasted space here where they're creating the choke-up area. On this knife, it's more in the handle than the blade, so you know you maximize the cutting edge. That's what I was talking about earlier. Can we do one more? Yeah, sure. Let's see. We'll do the old Shaman. Why not? And then we'll get the Rosie out too. It's almost the same size, slightly shorter than the Rosie, which I think is the perfect knife size. If you have a choke-up spot, this is the perfect knife size for me. Yeah, kind of similar knives, a little bit. Sorry, they were way up in the corner there. There we go. Yeah, kind of similar. Not similar blade shapes, but, you know, overall kind of reminiscent of each other. So, that's it. Thanks for watching, folks. Cut test coming soon. And like the video before you head out. I'd appreciate it very much. Cool. See you next time.